This nation, Mr. Speaker. Canada can win big, and that's another example.
The honourable member for Calgary, Forest Lawn.
Yesterday, the Global News printed very serious allegations about a member that sits in this House. The allegations, according to two separate national security sources, stated that, quote, privately advised a senior Chinese diplomat in February of 2021 that Beijing should hold off freeing Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor. For the 15th time today, on what date did the Prime Minister first learn of these allegations from security officials?
Minister for Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague knows full well that this government has set up the appropriate mechanisms to be transparent and upfront with Canadians in the ways in which we are protecting our institutions, including our elections, from any allegations of foreign interference. We've had two independent panels made up of nonpartisan, professional public servants verify that the elections were free and fair in 2019 and 2021. And now we have appointed an eminent Canadian in David Johnston to map out the next steps so that we can continue that work. That is something that we will do transparently with Canadians as well. Thank you.
The honourable member for Calgary, Forest Lawn.
Mr. Speaker, these non-answers are eroding public trust in our democracy. And the allegations from two separate national security sources state that a member in this House privately advised Beijing officials to hold off freeing Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, two Canadians that were held captive for 1,000 days. For the 16th time now, on what date did the Prime Minister first learn about these allegations against a member of this caucus, of his caucus?
The Honourable Minister for Parliamentary Affairs.
Speaker, on this side of the House, we think what erodes Canadians' confidence is the continued attempt to seek partisan advantage from what is a very serious national security issue, one that our government has taken very seriously. Mr. Speaker, autocratic regimes around the world, including China, want to weaken democratic institutions in countries like Canada. And these kind of irresponsible partisan discussions do not advance the interests of ensuring that Canadians have confidence in our democratic institutions. There are nonpartisan, fact-based ways to get these answers and this reassurance. That's exactly what our government is doing.
The honourable member for Charleswood, St. James, Assiniboia, Headingley.
Mr. Speaker, this is very serious and is not partisan, and shame on that member for saying so. The allegations in Global News yesterday were very, very disturbing. Two national security sources say that a Liberal MP advised Beijing to keep the two Michaels locked up to suffer for partisan political gain. That MP has now resigned from the Liberal caucus. Canadians deserve to know the truth, but even more, the two Michaels and their families deserve to know the truth. For the 17th time today, I ask, and please tell us on what date the Prime Minister learned of these horrendous allegations.
Rather incredulous that my colleague across the aisle says that the Conservatives have not partaken in any partisanship. What do they say with the attacks that they made against Mr. Johnston, somebody who was appointed by Stephen Harper? What do they say when they attacked my colleague, the Minister for Global Affairs, appearing at committee for doing her job, which included working around the clock to see the return of the two Michaels? Those are examples of partisanship. It's the Conservatives who should reverse course and unite behind the cause of protecting our institutions. That is precisely what this government will continue to do.
The honourable member for